I'm torn here because there's part of me that wants to be responsible, and there's part of me that wants to say it's December 8th, and there's part of me that wants to be like, Evan Mobley got hurt and they didn't play Tobin, so don't get all crazy. But then there's part of me that just wants to be like, we are back. And maybe we're not all the way back, but we're infringing on back territory, okay? That is what it feels like to old Tobes. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's just something about him. Homestand, sweep, sweep, sweep. Took out the Lakers, embarrassed him on national television, or embarrassed him in front of the nation. Didn't embarrass him on national television, but embarrassed them to the nation because everybody was talking about that ass kicking. Beat him by 40. Then the Suns come in. Yes, no KD, no Nurkic. We acknowledged this yesterday. So not at full strength. But even still, got the job done. Got a great performance by your two-headed monster and Bam and Jimmy Butler. And then today, second night of a back-to-back, big test. The Cleveland Cavaliers coming to town. They're coming off a back-to-back. You're coming off a back-to-back. No bubbly. No excuses. All right? What would happen in this matchup? They were rolling, 4-game win streak, best record in the Eastern Conference. Could Miami actually put a ballsy statement win, especially knowing Jimmy coming off a back-to-back? What would it be like? And wouldn't you know it, mother bleepers, the Miami Heat, they came out sniping today. Courtesy of the Dunkyard Dog once again, who is, he is just playing marvelous. You got to look. There's been a lot of complaining about Eric Spoelstra's maneuvers this year. Guilty. Especially when it comes to the young bigs, Nico and Kalel. I was thinking about going on a tirade on Twitter today, but then I remembered my promise where I wasn't going to be a stupid boy. And I wasn't going to be a dummy with the untrained eye. I wasn't going to be a pseudo-expert, in the words of Tony Fiorentino. So I restrained. That being said, you got to give credit to Eric Spoelstra because he has pushed the right buttons with this starting lineup. There's just something about it. Jimmy, Bam, Duncan, Tyler, and you throw in Haywood Highsmith in there. Just unlocking, and it's working together, dude. Terry Rozier going to bed. It's working, dude. And Duncan Robinson today, what a friggin' monstrosity this guy has become from downtown today. He's been fiending, man. He's been just like he's been hitting big shots. He's been going and getting to the bucket. He got to the free throw line a bunch today. Like, this is the thing that I love about Miami's game today is, yes, they hit their threes. And that was nice, but still aggressive. Like, and Duncan Robinson got fouled shooting a 3-point shot. Tyler Herro, what can we say about this kid? All-star. This is not up for debate. I don't want to look at other people. I don't want to look at stats. I don't want to compare anybody. This young man has been cooking. He comes out in this third quarter today. Miami, mind you, they flipped the game on its head in that second quarter. They were trailing 25-21 going into the second. And then Miami puts up a 38 spot against Cleveland to put the game in their control. And you're like, you know what? You were feeling good with this. Looking back at that second quarter, it was really just one of these things where, all right, what's going to be the thing that gets them going? And Bam would even things up. He gets a nice hook shot over Evan Mobley. Duncan Robinson, big time 3-ball from Drew Smith after Drew gets a miss. That would become a theme of the night, and he would probably have arguably the moment of the night for his team really rooting for him. But even in the situations of like Terry Rozier, he was having a nice night attacking the basket, going and trying to make fast moves into the paint. Thought Terry had a nice night tonight, and I know that he's come under some scrutiny. And then the moment at the end of the half where Jimmy Butler, he steals it and throws up a heave. It goes on the backboard, but kind of over, and then kicks back and goes in. And we're all just like looking at me like, I know that doesn't count, but it should. It should count. Like, that should count, dude. It should count. Either way, the refs waved it off. But into the second half of this game, with Miami up 59-51, and you're like, all right, what are the things that could really swing for Miami here? What is going to be the thing? Because we know on a lovely kids' day, baby races, very hotly contested. Mike Biamonte was almost out of voice after calling a hotly contested baby race derby. It was kids' day. This kids' day was Bernie's birthday. Two things I just want to say about Bernie. I love you, Bernie. That's one. Two, I appreciate you giving love to Bucky and inviting him to the party. Many a times the Bucky mascot is forgotten in the pantheon of mascots down here. So as a proud Barry Buccaneer, I was happy to see my mascot invited to Bernie's birthday party. It means a lot to me. So that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to make that clear. The only real issue with the Miami Heat in the first half that you could say that was noticeable was the backup bigs. You went, and this is where I was thinking of lashing out, but I didn't. I thought better of it. And Kevin Love was having a tough night, second out of a back-to-back. But just, whenever Bam sat down, the defensive ratings just torpedoing with him not out there. And there's been games where it's been like absolutely laughable. In a game like this, you're just like, hey, man, if you could just hold the fort a little bit, give this guy some rest. They're about to have, tomorrow off. They're gonna get, no games till Thursday, so you could monitor and be careful with things. But that was the most noticeable thing, and it didn't help that the Skyforce were like putting out wear highlights as this was all going down, making everybody furious. That being said, the second half, especially from Thomas Bryant, was much better because the Heat basically went away from Kevin Love minutes, and they're just like, you sit down, Wiley vet. That's how it's going to go. But out of the gate in the third quarter, you had just your two snipers, the two men atop your three-point leaderboard just went off. Duncan Robinson getting a three ball from Herro getting the three ball from Bam, getting his shot going. We then learned that Evan Mobley is done for the night. Duncan Robinson goes deep again. The Heat get up 15 on these mother bleepers, and it just feels like, things are starting to go in the right direction. They're finding their shooters. They're getting going. Jimmy Butler, big time slam from Tyler Herro after a block by Thomas Bryant with about 6 minutes left in there. He blocks Ty Jerome, leads to a Jimmy Butler slam, and that was like finally like a big time play from one of your backup bigs. He even got a chase down block on Spider the next time around. Cavs just happened to keep it, but Thomas Bryant was impressive in the third quarter in this game. Then Tyler Herro puts his head down, bucket, flexing at the bench, gets the and one. He's up to 27 points at this time for Boy Wonder. All-star. And you got to give it up to Tyler Herro, man. It's not just the fact that he's sniping with no conscience, but getting to the free throw line has been so noticeable, such a big deal, such an element of his game. He will not be bullied out of any place. You will not out-physical him. And it's huge. But then it leads into other stuff where it's like, you had Spida starting to cook here in the third quarter a little bit, and Tyler Herro was going blow for blow with him. You hit us with an uppercut, I'm hitting you with a body blow. You hit me with the jab, I'm going to stick a hook right in your face. That's how it was between these two, just trading big time shots. And then it was a crazy Spida step back on Triple J. Heat call a timeout. The league got cut to single digits, and Tyler Herro comes out of the timeout, and he hits a fucking ridiculous three where he like sidesteps Matador George Niang, who goes flying, and Tyler Herro puts the Heat up 90-78. Monster onions from Tyler Herro. 19 points in the third quarter for Boy Wonder. He was an absolute maniac with the way that he was shooting. A maniac, dude. 19 points, 6 of 9, 4 of 4 from downtown. And mind you, this is a guy who just put up a 21 spot against the Lakers just a couple of games ago. All-star, dude. All-star. Incredible from him. So you get to the fourth quarter. LeVert kind of gets going a little bit for the Cavaliers. They're storming back. Jimmy Butler comes in for Jaime Jaquez. And Jimmy Butler, like you could just tell from this, Jimmy Butler was going to kind of swing the tone of the game, slow it down, control it down. But little did we know, as much as Jimmy was dictating things, the man who was going to really hit the big shots and put the dagger in the Cavs was Heat Nation's darling, Drew Smith. The D is dangerous, the R is ruthless, and the U is unrelenting. And Drew Smith, he has a sick possession in this game that would define it. He was going, Darius Garland hitting a three. Drew Smith was there to answer. By the way, Duncan Robinson had a sick-ass steal on Jared Allen for a dunk that put the Heat up 10. That was really cool. But the play that really sealed it, dude, that was Heat culture through and through. You have Drew Smith. I think it was Bammy with the first three. Too strong. Drew Smith gets it. It ends up with Tyler here on the corner. He shoots it, misses. Drew Smith ends up with it. They are kicking it around, and Drew Smith ends up in the corner in front of the Heat bench and hits it. And he's going nuts. The building's going nuts. The bench is going nuts. Heat culture through and through, dude. So as much as we want to get at Spo, this man, we know he has had an affinity for Drew Smith. He has believed in Drew Smith. This is the team that Drew Smith tore his ACL against in Cleveland. And he was incredible today. Incredible. And got to really set off the Peppers button too. A sick pass from Tyler to Drew right there for the reverse layup. And the Peppers button would sound off. That came right after a Bam Adebayo 3-ball. And the Miami Heat get their win 3 in a row. And look, I said coming into this week, measuring stick week for the Miami Heat. Okay, and I stand by that. And this is why I cannot be trusted. Because, dude, I'm not saying the Miami Heat are back, but we are infringing on being back. And if you can beat this team and the way the Miami Heat are looking right now and the way that some of the lineup numbers are looking, all right, the way their offense is trending, the way that starting lineup is playing together. I was listening to UD talk about this, the way that Jimmy, Tyler, and Bam all seem to be clicking now. All right, no slumskis. We may be back. We may be back. We may be back. We may be. I don't think I'm officially. I'm not. I don't think I'm going to officially declare it tonight because it seems irresponsible. It's been a very busy day. I want to sleep on this for a little bit, but I want everybody to go to bed knowing tonight, or whether you wake up and you listen to this or whatever, but know that I'm going to bed at 11:30 here in South Florida, and I'm going to go to bed tickled to my toes thinking, I think the Heat are back. I think they may be back. They may be back. They could be back. They might be back. Are they back? They could be back. And if there's some Cleveland degenerate out there who's, we didn't have Evan Mobley, boo. Trust me, he wasn't doing it in the first half either. All right, don't worry about it. All right, he shot his bullets against the Hornets. Don't worry about that. All right. Yes, the Heat have gotten some break skis with facing some top competition for sure. No Luka, no Kevin Durant, Evan Mobley getting hurt. Sure. But you're gonna go cry to the Heat fan about not having people. We took the Celtics loss on the chin. I didn't sit here and it was like, we didn't have Jimmy Butler. No. I criticized the players who deserved it that night. This game, to me, it meant something to me. And Spo said it's not a statement win. I think he said something very profound. It's not a statement win, but it shows the possibility of what the team can be. I was like, wow, he's good. This coach, you know about him? He's good. And I thought, I sat and I was like, that's pretty goosies. Like, I know I shouldn't get goosies about holding back expectations, but I did because it like washed over me. I was like, wow. Spo, you say some wise, profound things. But none of them wiser than sticking with Drew Smith. And I just want to say to Frog Boy, you owe him an apology, okay? I'm going to make you apologize on the radio show. Hope you guys tune in on the 56WQM YouTube show. I'm going to make him apologize because anybody who was against Drew Smith or didn't get Drew Smith and wanted to be rats off a ship because of Drew Smith, just apologize now and cut your losses and just be like, I was a dope and Eric Spoelstra was right. We can disagree on other things. We can be crazy about the center situation and I'll have my own weird hangups on Jovic and all that stuff. But the dude hit a home run with sticking with Drew Smith. You have to admit it. So, nice win by the Heat, 122-113. 3 in a row for Miami. They now get to be off until Thursday when they welcome in the Toronto Raptors. Well done, lads. Way to close out Art Basel with a beautiful thing I like to call Heat culture hustle from Drew Smith. Mwah. Hang that up in the whatever that famous place is you hang up things.